This is a story about stepping into the unknown, about letting the wind carry you to the edges of the earth, and discovering it's never really about the places you end up. It's about the people you share them with.
I'm Koté, and this is my friend Carson, and we saved up a bunch of money and bought a one-way ticket to Europe with no plan, no bookings, just being spontaneous and figuring it out as we go. And in this episode of the series, we are departing from our first stop, London. An incredible start to the trip, but now we're off, and life honestly can't get much better than a 4-hour train ride through the rolling green hills of Scotland. Little did we know, it was about to get a whole lot better. This has got to be one of the most enchanting cities I've ever visited, and it's so cool to be here again. I came here once before, back in 2019 on my first solo trip through Europe, and ever since then, I've wanted to return. The serendipity of travel is that you and others from completely different walks of life just so happen to be in the same place at the same time, and you might just end up making a friend for life. Or you might just run into someone you already know. My friend Chris just so happened to be visiting with his family during the few days Carson and I were there. This felt like the beginning of the trip, the true beginning, because in London, we stayed at Carson's sister's place. But this was our first hostel of the trip, the full plunge into the travel lifestyle. I've stayed in my fair share of hostels, but this one, and the people we met, was one for the books. Terry, Lorraine, Michael, Nolan, Ellie, Marion, and so many more. If you've never been in a hostel, I highly recommend it. You play cards, you do karaoke, you try Scottish dancing, and you get about 4 bazillion selfies from the one and only Frenchman, Michael. You make some fun memories and meet some of the most bizarre and unforgettable people in hostels. And one of those people was Marion. We barely talked to her until our last night in Edinburgh, but after teaching her our card game, which she brutally destroyed us in 4 games in a row, we spontaneously, sort of jokingly, invited her to join us on our road trip the next morning. She didn't give us a yes or a no, but a maybe, as she said goodnight and headed for bed. I mean, valid response. We're 2 dudes, 2 strangers. I figured we'd never see her again. But an hour later, I get a text. And just like that, we had a new travel companion. A French girl we barely knew, joining us for a road trip through the Highlands of Scotland. I thought Edinburgh was magical. I had no idea what we were in for. It took us nearly 5 hours and 200 miles, but we made it to our hostel in Broadford, called Skye Base Camp. I highly recommend it if you ever find yourself out here. It's cozy, it feels like some grandma's cottage in the middle of nowhere. Here we met 2 new friends, Elise and Toby, spending the evenings making home-cooked meals, playing cards, and pool.
Oh, illegal.
Spending the days exploring the Isle of Skye.
Hello?
Hey guys.
Ask for money.
Hey. Bye.
Why did you say yes? Why, like to two strangers?
I think because it's crazy to do that, and it's like the one opportunity. Like you don't have a lot like this in life.
It's hard to say no to that.
I want to beat you at your own game. Like,
Oh, that's why.
again.
Marion, thank you for trusting us and saying yes to two strangers. You really made this trip a whole lot more unforgettable.
The story, step out. You won't know where you're going or who you'll meet, but that's the beauty of it. It's not about the destination or the path. It's about the company you find along the way.
I miss Michael.
I miss Michael too.
Group chat.
Group selfie. Group chat.
I know.
Uno.
He would take a selfie every 30 seconds, like no joke.
400 in 2 days.
Yeah, in one night, I think when we went out, it was from the time we got out to the bar until the time we got back, there was 107 selfies. I counted them.
Michael,
I was flabbergasted about his commitment.
He's such a goof. He's such a goofball.
But he brought a crazy good energy to it all, though.
He did.
He kept
really
all
did.
of us entertained just by being the tweaker that he is. I love that.
I feel like we have to channel our inner Michael. Till next time.
Till next time.
Anything else?
The end.
The end.
The end.